Loading up. I know that this might go live a few seconds before I see it going live, so excuse the awkwardness before it starts. And cool, all right. Hey, my name is David. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a website in Kajabi. It's one of my favorite tools, and I tried to do loud cars driving by. I tried to do this earlier and ran into some technical difficulties, so we're gonna do it again, and I might shorten what I say since I ramble in the first renditions of these things. Okay, so we are going to, let me show you my screen, and now if I go down, make this full screen. All right, yeah, you guys should be able to see my inside my little Kajabi hub right here. Now, a lot of authors, well, a lot of people online period, think when they are going to build a website that WordPress is their only option. And there's tons of bloggers and YouTube channels centered around WordPress. And that's just because, first of all, it's been around a very long time. And second of all, it's very technically demanding. So you need to spend a lot of time learning how to handle the technical side of it if you want to actually build what you want to build. And then furthermore, it's just a simple website platform. So if you want to do anything like build courses or landing pages, or just kind of do a lot of the basic necessities in today's internet marketing world, you have to use other programs, which is why people with WordPress also have to subscribe to different mailing options like MailChimp, ConvertKit, Teachable, and all these other things. And then you have the headache of integrations, which is trying to make all of these separate systems, which were built by separate people for separate purposes, all into one home to help you build and communicate with the audience that you're building and that wants to hear from you. And so what Kajabi is an all-in-one platform that eliminates that mess and says, here's pretty much everything that people need or want to do nowadays related to communicating, related to marketing, related to creating online. And all of that is already put together. So you build a website, landing pages, email lists, courses, everything you could need is all in the Kajabi home. And so you log in with one login, you learn how to use their system, which is very simple. And then you can pretty much do and create anything you want without having to add another system or pay another bill because you find out, oh, that can't do what I actually need it to. Let me take a second here and see if this is working the way I want it to. Cool. It looks like we're doing pretty good. All right, so excuse me, choking. So today's quick video, I wanted to walk you through what building a website on Kajabi actually looks like. For the most part, it's just a simple drag and drop system. So you can kind of see on the screen right here, I have up the image of my website. And what I've done is I went ahead and made a test site, you can see right here. Then I'm just gonna walk you through I think there's 26 different elements that you can use to build your website. And again, it's all drag and drop, so I'm gonna hit customize. And that's what you're going to use when you want to build your website. And now I'm showing you this piece because if you can understand the elements that make up their drag and drop system and how to use them, you can literally build everything else in Kajabi. Everything else from the courses to the landing pages to the funnels all work in a similar way where you're using elements to build, or drag and drop elements to build what you want. So I was playing in here earlier, again from my first failed attempt at a video. So let me just clean up this side a little bit, and then we're gonna go through one by one, just so you can see what they are and how they work. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and just talk about what you see on the screen right now. So what you see on the screen right now is just the template that they give you. This is the Premier theme, one of their newer themes. And as you see, as I move my mouse around, you're gonna see the edit box pop up. So anything you see here can be changed into what you want it to be. Now on the left-hand side is the sections and the settings, and that's where you can get more in depth. And underneath the sections, you're gonna see the header, which is this part right here, fully customizable. And then beneath that are all the individual sections that you can add, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. What do those look like? How do they work? What do you want them to do for you? At the very bottom here, you can see our footer, which let me show you what that looks like on the screen. You can see the footer down here, another navigation menu, your icons. Again, all of this you can change very easily in settings. And then this is actually where you manage the different pop-ups that you would have on your website depending on what page and so on. So I plan to do different videos in the future about navigation menus, about pop-ups, how to use all this for marketing, more geared towards the author community who I'm a part of and who I know watch these videos. But again, if you are a creator at all and you're looking for a simpler system to build what you want to build, you can't really go wrong with Kajabi. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one thing before we start playing with the sections. And it is, if you can see this little corner down here with the sideways computer, I need to get like that thing that highlights your mouse so you can see where I'm talking. But if you can move all the way to the bottom right corner, I'm going to click on that button and you're going to see 4 different options pop up: desktop, tablet, and mobile. So desktop is what you see right here. You're going to be editing your website and how it's going to look on another person's desktop. Next to it is tablet H, or for horizontal. So it's when the tablet is sideways, it pretty much looks exactly the same way as it would on your desktop, just a little bit more condensed. Next to that is tablet V. And tablet V is for vertical, so up and down. And that's going to look like a wider version of mobile. And then mobile, which is how 90% of internet traffic is done these days, that's how it's going to look on people's phones. And so the great thing I love about this is that you don't only have to edit in desktop mode. You can edit in any of the modes that are here, so that when you're thinking through, oh, is this picture too big or does it cut off when people are on their phones, you can answer that question immediately just by switching through the different options that are in the bottom corner. So I'm going to go back to desktop because we're on YouTube and this is going to look better if we do it that way instead of a tiny little screen. And we're going to go through all of the different sections. Now I'm going to go through them in alphabetical order. Let me just delete a few here so that it's not so clunky when we start looking through all the different options. So while I'm doing that, let me explain what I'm doing. Next to all of these are, this is the name or the type of the section that we're dealing with. There are 3 buttons to the far right corner, and if you click on it, you get a few options so you can rename it, so that way you know what that section is for, not just what type it is. You can duplicate that section, which is make a copy. You can hide it, which means it's not deleted, it just won't show up on your public website or when you're editing it. So I'm going to show it again. Show. There we go. And then the last option is to delete it permanently. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it just so you can see. Oh, wait. Actually, I'm going to keep that one so you can see what I do next. So that's, the options, and then next to it are the hamburger menu. And so that's going to let you move it. So this is like the drag and drop feature that people love on websites now and makes it so much easier to edit things. And it amazes me that there's still so many websites out there that you can't do this on. Ones that you pay a lot of money for too, that you are stuck in the 90s trying to build websites. So again, that's just an overview of what those little buttons and menus do on the features or sections themselves. So now we're going to go in, I'm going to add a section, and we're going to go through these. Again, I believe there's 26 of them. We're just going to breeze through them so that you understand what they do and how to use them. All right, so first is the accordion. So we're going to go down here. Now, accordion is basically what it sounds like. Things can expand when you build that section. It's most often used for things like the facts, the frequently asked questions, so that you can add a question in and then add the text underneath it. It's a really nice way to keep your website still feeling condensed, even if you want to add a ton of information. I pretty much, always have a accordion like this at the bottom of any sales page I'm building, because I want people to know, like, here's the additional information they might be looking for, and here's an easy way to access it. All right, next to it is an assessment. Now, the assessments are something recently added to Kajabi. I'm not going to go in detail here. I think it's better to explain it within the context of a course. So if you want to see that, make sure you look for when I talk future videos about building courses. Blog posts, exactly what it sounds like. It adds a section on your website for you to display the most recently published blog posts. Now, again, you can edit which ones show, how many are shown, you can kind of see shadows and so on. A lot of everything you're seeing can be taken away or added or expanded upon. Above it, you're going to see almost every section that we have allows you to add text. So a heading and a subheading is pretty much defaulted on every single section, but you don't need to keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it just so you see what that looks like. So there you go. Now you just have a nice clean bar with the blog post, and you didn't need to say, hey, this is my blog post. So if you are looking to build something like that, it's nice and simple. All right, keep going. Here is a countdown timer. Again, it is what it is. Mouth words sometimes. So the cool thing about countdown timers is that you can tie it to a date, which is what most people do, or to an event. And so events are kind of a unique thing within Kajabi that allow you to build countdown timers or automated email sequences around an event that's not tied to a date. So let's say you are running a recurring webinar or something like that, and you want people to interact with the content that you're sending them in relation to that webinar, not in relation to what date it is or day of the week it is. So that's kind of a cool feature. It's a little hard to explain without showing you how to use it, and so that'll be obviously in a future video. Call to action is really simple. It's basically a button and then everything else you could do to make that button look good. So you can add text above it and around it. You can add a picture or just a color background. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. So obviously you can change the type of button, the size of button. Let me show you the background color of the page. So pretty much anything you see here, you can make it fit your branding and what you want to build. After that, we have custom content, and custom content is very wide. Like, it's literally anything you want to put in this. There's even a space for text if you want to add your own HTML or widget, or you just want to get a little bit more advanced with what is showing on the screen for your viewers. I pretty much don't ever use that. I think, first of all, Kajabi has everything I already want, and if I'm trying to do something custom, I better have a really good reason to do it, because when you're trying to get more complicated, you're probably taking away from the user experience, so it's just not necessary. So you really should have a good reason for doing that. Next, we have Facebook comments. Cool. So I wasn't sure if I had my Facebook tied in, but I do. So really simple. On my blog posts, I actually have the Discus platform for comments. But again, if you prefer Facebook, if that's where a lot of your audience is housed, this might be a good idea. Next are the features. Now, the features are pretty standard element that you see on any sales page or like a SaaS website. It's just to show you what what the high points are about the product or service or whatever it is you're offering. Again, everything here is customizable, and I will say that almost on every section that we're building, there's an option to add, let me not lie to you, let me make sure. Okay, there's an option to add another button or a CTA, a call to action of some sort. So just keep that in mind. If you're like, oh, it would be cool if I could just have a click through or read more or buy now button within something else that I already added, and that's doable 99% of the time. So I just want to show you that little feature within features. All right, next is heading. Again, a really simple one. It's text. I believe that's an H2 or H3 tag if you know that kind of stuff. And then beneath it is another subheading level of text. Then, oh wait, I want to show you one thing on the heading. So if I add the heading, one thing I really like about it is that you can show a bar underneath it, and obviously you can change the color of that bar and a few other elements about it. I just think that's a classy way to break up the text if you have a lot of text on your website or sales page. Just a little pop of color can go a long way. All right, next to that is the hero section, and that's actually what we were playing around with at the top here. So all it is kind of a call out to, something that you want people to see. It's, basically an extended banner. You don't need to have the button. You could replace the picture with the video. I don't think there's a video uploaded right now, so you can't see it. But you know what I'm talking about. You go to a website and there's movement because it's actually a video, not an image. So again, that's what it is. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to use the hero as the banner at the top of your website. So kind of the first thing people see when they come. Next, we have image. Again, really simple. This is just home for one picture. You can add multiples within it. And again, you can delete the text above it, so you can just kind of have a nice, open space for whatever image you want to add there. Next to that is the image gallery. So you have a few different options how to lay out the gallery, and then whether or not you want colors to be over top it or text, however many pictures you want. I believe the most you can have in a row is 4, and then it starts stacking down depending on how your settings for your website. So that was the image gallery. Now we're going to jump to link list. Now this is essentially a navigation bar. You can customize it to whatever, whether it's top, bottom, or a custom navigation. It's just another place to give links. Most of the time you're just going to use this. Like, you're not going to need to use it because your header is already going to give you all the information that you need. But if there's a secondary links that you want people to be aware of or able to access easily, that's when that would come in handy. Next, we have the logo list for social proof. Now, again, you can upload individual logos into each of these slots so that you can kind of show off other bigger brand names that have worked with you to kind of build the trust with your audience. It's really simple to do that. You can also accomplish this same idea with some of the other sections that we've shown you, but it's nice that they have this option for you because it's going to line them up better. I have on one of my pages, I have a bunch of black and white logos, and they weren't like perfectly the same size, but when I uploaded them all into this feature, it lined them up really well. So it actually looks like they're perfectly centered and straight, which was very cool. All right, now here we have an offer. In my video on courses, sorry, there are so many loud cars today. On my video on how to build courses with Kajabi, which I will link below, there are, Kajabi works a little bit different where you build a product, which is like your course or download or whatever it is, and then you also build an offer, which is the pricing for whatever it is, and then you tie them together. So offers give you access to whatever products they're tied to. Again, if you want more information on that, check out the video below. But the offers thing is just kind of an easy way to show what you have for people to buy. There is a store element within Kajabi that's kind of a default, which presents your offers however you want them to be presented. So for the most part, you're not going to add the offers to a separate page. What you would add instead is a pricing options. So let me just show you that now. So you can see pretty standard. Again, you can customize everything. And let me just show you this piece again. Most of what I've been doing is working on the left side of the screen so that I'm working within the different features. But you see how my mouse is making things blue and the edit button is coming up. If there's anything you want to edit anywhere on a Kajabi page, you don't need to go find it on the left side. You can just click on it and it's going to pull up the relevant section for you to edit it right there. Saves you a few seconds, but those seconds add up when you're trying to build pages and funnels and so on. So again, nice little feature so you can find exactly what you're looking for right away. So that's your pricing options. Pretty standard. Again, there's tons of ways you can customize it to make it fit your theme and your messaging and even the number of pricing options, so on. Let's go back. So I skipped over the opt-in form. Pretty important. You can see the different elements here, and I'm going to add it so you can see what you can change. So you're starting off with a background image, an overlay picture to make it a little darker and the text stand out. But again, all of this is editable, editing. So you can take away the text. You can choose which form, I'm gonna use the default form here, is gonna be available for people. Let me put the text back. You can change which side the text is shown on. And just a few other things so that you can make it fit your branding and what you want to communicate. Now below that, I'm going to show you the opt-in form bar, which is similar. It's going to pull the boxes from whatever form you chose. So if you just have an email, or if you have a more complicated one which also asks for phone number or address or so on, your opt-in form or opt-in form bar are going to pull in all that data and make it look really nice. So again, same thing. You can change the side that the image or text is just displayed again. You can take away the text. You can do pretty much anything you want to make it as minimal or as information packed as you need it to be. Below that, we are making a showcase. So showcase is kind of like the big brother of an image and text box. So it has a very large image to the right or left, or again, you can switch it around. You can add a button or take it away, and the whole thing is like something you would see again on a more like technical product where they're trying to highlight like this cool feature, or if you're building a course, like here's like the bonus that really makes it stand out. So however you use that, it's kind of like an upgraded version of image and text. Next to that, we have Slideshow, which sounds or is just the way it sounds. You can add pictures in a row. There's a few different cool things you can do with how the slideshow actually displays on your website. So I encourage you to play around with that. Below that, we have a spacer, and I'm going to change the color so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's this red box right here, and let me make it bigger. Cool. Basically, a spacer is what you use to divide sections from one another, which isn't completely necessary, because if you look, all of these different elements on the website have the option to change the background color. So, like the hero section is much darker than this background of the heading section, and you can change that however you want, so that using a differently colored spacer isn't really necessary, unless you really want like a little black line or red line cutting through your things. I don't really use them on my website. I just think it flows better when either it's all the same color and just the text or buttons are breaking it up, or where each section is kind of like a little bit offset from one another, so it just feels more cohesive. So I'll just leave that there so you see it. Then below that, we have testimonials, which again are exactly what they sound like. And I'm going to add another one so you see what it does. So when you're editing it, it actually stacks it, but if I save it and kind of get out so you can see it, what it does is scroll the testimonials from left to right. So you can add a really cool, like professional looking level of social proof on your website. They're really easy to work with. You change the picture behind, you can change the picture of the person, you can change everything here that you see is, again, up for whatever you want to make it. All right. After testimonials, we're going to touch on text. So again, this is a really simple section. It's just a text box. You can use, I believe you can actually use this for the HTML too if you want to add anything custom again. After that, we have text and image. So this is what I was talking about before with the showcase. Did I leave it up here? Oh. Let me add this, and then let me add a showcase so that you can compare them. There we go. Okay, so like I said, this is the showcase, and this is like the little brother of showcase. So it's still text and an image, but it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. I used to use this on my about page, really simple, like here's a picture of me and my name or title, and then after that I'd go right into like my about story and so on. So again, they basically accomplish the same thing, just in a different way. Okay, after that we're going to video. Now The difference between video and video embed is this video allows you to upload right to Kajabi, right to your own website, so that whatever your video is hosted. This would be great for a short intro video or explainer video, something shorter than 2 or 3 minutes max, explaining who you are, what you do, or what your product is. You don't want to add like an hour-long video on here. First of all, because video files are huge. So if you're clogging your website up with really big video files every time someone comes, that's just gonna really ding you like in search results and so on, because people aren't gonna want to wait for some big video to load just to see your web page. So again, if you can upload it right here, just keep it short. And then video embed is pulling video from other websites, so YouTube, Vimeo, so on, and that way the video shows up here, but it's hosted somewhere else. So it just kind of pulls it over, shows it real nice. There's a few cool ways. If you go to my website now, like ramosauthor.com, and scroll to the bottom, you're going to see that I actually embedded a row of videos, and it came out really cool, and I like it, so that's why I'm telling you about it. Yeah, so that's actually the last element. So let me just go over again and just show you, like, again, you can drag and drop everything that's here. You can hide it if you don't want that element anymore. You can delete it if you're really done with it. And it's just really simple to use. I've been using Kajabi for about 2 years now. And I am, I've told pretty much every author friend I have, like, why are you still like having headaches with WordPress or using 8 different systems? Like, just stop wasting your time and money. Like, come use this thing. And of course, use my affiliate link when you do. So if you have any questions about how Kajabi works, or about any of the elements that maybe you didn't see here and you want to know if there's some way to make that work on a Kajabi website, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll have links to my social media pages below, because I just posted a schedule for what these live videos are going to look like. My plan, little primer right here, my plan is to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Monday will be more author focused, Wednesday will be more website and like tutorial based, and then Friday will be author website, like very honing in, because I want to kind of explain, because I see a lot of bad author websites, and it's not so much bad because they don't know what they're doing, it's bad because they're trying to do too much. And so I want to help people get away from that, because I have little funnels and things set up now where every single day my email newsletter is growing, and because of that, every single day I'm getting paid by people who just read my book or who just found my course or so on. And it's a really cool thing. And when I hear really good authors, like authors who write great things, not being able to monetize what they're doing, not being able to turn their expertise into something more sustainable, like, that's really frustrating. So if I can do these little videos and help you guys, like, just figure out a few small changes that you can do to get more out of what you're building, like, that's a cool thing. And like Gary Vaynerchuk says, like, the karma thing, you put good things out and they're going to come back to you. So it's selfish at the end, so don't worry about it. It's still selfish. All right, so we are going to wrap up this video. Again, thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I will be doing these videos, at least a few times a week, so I hope to see you back. Yep, and my name's